What's up guys, it's Mystic coming to you guys with yet another YouTube video. Now today it's going to be a recap review on The Flash Season 2 Episode 21 Runaway Dinosaur. Now let's get right into it. The show starts, everyone thinks Barry is gone. They're still in the same laboratory where they did the particle accelerator explosion experiment. And they find out that Wally and Jesse are knocked out in the hallway in the corridor, not too far from the explosion. However, they can't get Jesse to wake up. Wally wakes up, and I think I think there's a lot of teasing in this episode as to why she's not waking up, but we'll get into that in just a second. Now Cisco vibes Barry because he touches his what remains of his costume or his suit and the upper part of his torso. So he touches it, he vibes him, and he sees him around an electrical storm. Obviously we all know it's the Speed Force. He's stuck in wherever the Speed Force actually it resides and it lives. So he's stuck there, unfortunately. Now him and Professor Wells try to figure out a way to get him back from wherever the Speed Force is. So they use some sort of contraption machine to amplify his power so that when he vibes they can pinpoint where he is. At the same time they kind of analyze Jessie and they kind of diagnose her as having a lot of the same symptoms that Barry was showing when he first got struck by the particle accelerator the first time he got his powers. They try to figure out exactly what kind of treatment the evil Wells, or the first Wells from season 1, gave Barry in order to wake him back up from that coma he was in, because basically Jessie's in the coma, but they can't figure out why she can't wake up. All her vitals are normal, all her vitals are showing that she should be waking up, but she's not. At this point they go into the basement because they're trying to look for the medical records or just the records in general as to what kind of treatment the evil Wells used. And once they go into the basement they find out that this second particle accelerator explosion actually woke up Girder, the villain in one of the first episodes, or in the first season, and they found out it woke him up, or at least parts of his brain, and he doesn't really recognize anyone. And I think this was probably one of the slowest parts of the episode. A lot of the scenes, a lot of the moments with Girder were just kind of throwaway fillers to kind of fill up the show. Do I think it was absolutely necessary? Probably not. Was it kind of a shout out to The Walking Dead? Yeah, and a little bit of just the genre in general, zombies in general, just because it's kind of popular right now. And you know, that was important, I guess, but again, a lot of it was kind of boring. They chased him down throughout the city a lot. Not much to talk about there. I don't want to go into detail just because, like I said, it wasn't really too important as far as the Girder aspect of the story. All you need to know is that he wanted to get his hands on Iris again and track her down. That's it. Now Barry wakes up in a room and he finds out that it's the same room he grew up in as a child, and basically he meets the Speed Force. Now the Speed Force impersonates or disguises itself as people from Barry's life, people he is comfortable with, people that he cares about. First it's Joe, next it's Iris, then Henry, then his mom. Barry learns that the Speed Force is very pivotal in the existence of the universe, that the Speed Force was there during the Big Bang, and the Speed Force will be there far longer after all life in the universe is gone. So that's an important aspect that of the Speed Force that Barry learned. The other thing is that the Speed Force tries to make Barry earn his speed back. He basically by accepting a lot of the things in his life, especially his mom's death. And I think Barry guilts himself a lot because he had the opportunity to go back and save his mom, and he is just filled with guilt. And I think the Speed Force tries to help him cope and get over that part of his life, or that decision he made, or he will make again, because as you guys know, there were two versions of the Flash during that scene. The version where he goes back and tries to save his mom, and then his future self the self that goes back in time to try to save himself from the Reverse Flash as a child. So he's gonna have multiple opportunities to try to save his mom. Every time he has to make the decision not to, because the ends justify the means. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, is basically what the Speed Force says. If it wasn't for the death of his mom, he wouldn't become the hero he is today and become the man that he is. And that's also something that was mentioned in the Flashpoint Paradox movie that I think really caught my eye, and I think is very important. Now, in the Flashpoint Paradox, his mom says, "When I was a little girl, Grandma taught me a prayer. Accept the things you cannot change, have the courage to change the things you can, and have the wisdom to know the difference." And that basically came to my mind right away when Barry talks to the Speed Force, especially when he talks to his mom at the end, because basically his mom tries to help him let go of that situation, that guilt. And I think it was very impactful, very emotional, and I think they did it very, very well. Again, it was very emotional seeing him with his mom, and I don't think they could have done it any other way. I wish we could have learned a little bit more about the Speed Force, maybe have less girder, have more about the Speed Force, more speedsters, more just how it works, just more of that I wish they would have done instead of their girder stuff. As the show is ending, Cisco vibes again and tries to get Barry back. This time Iris goes with him, and she is the one that pretty much convinces Barry or shows Barry the way home. I liked Iris in this episode, and I've grown to like her quite a bit more and more as these episodes have gone by. A lot more than Season 1. In Season 1, I think they did what a lot of shows do, and I think what Supergirl suffered with, and even the Arrow, they try to shove these dramas, these love situations down your throat. And Season 2 has done a much better job with Iris, just sprinkling her on as the episodes go by, and slowly have her as kind of a love interest, to Barry, and I think they've done it absolutely great. And she helps him get home because obviously he hears her and guides her back to Earth 1. After that, he defeats Girder, quick and simple. Then they go back to Jesse, and Barry comes back with this, I wouldn't say knowledge, but this new sense of understanding of the Speed Force, and he knows what to do when he sees Jesse. He gets closer, touches her hand, and gives her, I would say, a small Speed Force shock that wakes her up. And again, another teaser. We don't know if she has Speed Force. Everything indicates that she probably does. But again, this show does so many teases, so many Easter eggs that who knows? Who knows? They might give her Speed Force, they might not. But it kind of gives you a sense that maybe that's how Wells woke up Barry the first time. After that, they go to visit Barry's mom's grave. Iris goes with him, just them two. And it kind of showed me, it kind of reminded me of another shot in the Flashpoint Paradox movie where Iris and Barry are visiting his mom's grave, Nora Allen. Again, very emotional, brought Barry and Iris closer together in this episode. And I think I'm really liking Iris, and I do wish they end up together, and I think that's the kind of feeling you want to get from these episodes and these kind of scenes, and they're doing a really good job of that. And like I said, in the Flashpoint Paradox, they did the same thing. And finally, Zoom gives Caitlin an ultimatum at the end of the show. He tells her, you know what, you can go if you want to, the door's wide open. However, if you go back to help your friends, I'm not going to show you any mercy. And it's left at that. We don't know yet if she's going to leave or not, or stay with him. And we find out that Zoom has an army, and I think that's getting pretty close to the end of the season. We know that's probably going to influence the last episode, the army, as far as all these metahumans go. And like I said, I think we're getting that feeling that the season's coming to the end. Last quick thoughts. I think that Joe played a really good role in the show, in this episode in particular. I'm liking him a lot more every episode. He always has a cool head, he kept Henry Allen and Professor Wells from tearing their heads apart. Kind of directed everyone, delegated everyone to what to do. Henry taking care of Jesse because he's a doctor, and Wells trying to get Barry home, find a way to get Barry home, and he took care of Girder pretty much. And again, great episode for Joe. And again, Iris, another big point of this episode. Loved her. Again, guys, those were my thoughts and impressions and kind of a recap of episode 21, Runaway Dinosaur. Leave a comment letting me know what you guys thought of the episode, and if I missed anything, also leave a comment. Again, give a like on the video. Any other feedback is always appreciated. But thanks again, guys, for watching this episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
You can't lock up the dark.